Hi, thank you for watching my channel. This is my October reading wrap-up and my November TBR. And this is my dog, Tito. Do I look good today? Nope. Does my hair look pretty rough? I mean, it's like straight on one side, wavy on the other. Did I cut it by myself yesterday? Absolutely. Am I wearing a shirt that I definitely slept in? Maybe. Anyway, so this is going to be probably not the highest quality video you've ever seen, but I'm excited to talk about what I read and what I'm interested in reading for November. So, the first book I read, and I don't think this will be in order because I don't really remember the order, but the first book I read was actually one I listened to, which was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. You're probably familiar if you're interested in books because it is one of the best books of the year. Everyone has been talking about it all year. And it is about two sisters who were very light-skinned, come from a light-skinned community in Louisiana, and they basically go down different paths in life. One who lives her life as a white woman, and one who essentially procreates with the darkest man she can find. I can only remember parts of it, which is why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5, and like I said, I listened to it, so I'd really love to also read it, and I think it'll be a 5 out of 5, but this book was very interesting. It was written beautifully. The narrator on the audiobook was so good. It came out much better than I thought it would. I typically don't read a lot of literary fiction. Here's some of the books that I've read. I mean, you can see that there's like a couple in there that are like your typical literary fiction novels, but I do a lot of mysteries, thrillers, and romance, so this wasn't really up my alley, but it was so good. I just think I need a better grasp on it, and to do that I need to read it. The next book I think I read this month was, I don't know if it was this one or the next one I'm going to talk about, but The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and this is my first Christina Lauren, and this is just like good old chick lit. This was very good. It's about two twin sisters. One is a bit more unlucky. Her name is Olive, and then there's Amelia, and Olive, and Amy's very lucky in life. Like, she has what appears to be a very good to her husband with this wedding, which, you know, kind of implodes, and her brother-in-law's brother is the best man in her wedding, and then she's obviously the maid of honor, and everyone gets sick at this wedding, really sick with food poisoning, so no one can go on the honeymoon, of course, and it's this lavish honeymoon that this sister Amy, who's very lucky in life, won, so she needs someone to go, and obviously being a twin sister, you know, they go. She goes with the best man, since he's the brother and has the last name, and you know, hilarity ensues. This was okay. I think I gave it like a 3, and I think that's a pretty solid rating. Like, I liked this. I liked it. I thought it was a little long for what it was. Yeah, it's like 350 pages. A little long. I liked it. Didn't love it. It wasn't steamy. Like, they'd be like, ooh, they're having relations, and then like, that was the end of the chapter, and I was looking for more, but, you know, my bad, I never read Christina Lauren, so I didn't really know what to expect, but it wasn't that. So will I be reading Christina Lauren again? Maybe, but I liked this. I thought it was like a good, easy, cute read. I told my friends about it, they read it after me. Very good. The next book, or possibly that was the next book, I'm not sure, was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This I heard great things about from so many people, and I was really in the mood for like a quick, easy thriller. This is about a woman who is charged with killing her husband and then stops speaking, and she's an artist, so she made this painting as like her final thought or words, whatever. So you're following her diary, and then you're also following a therapist, psychologist, who comes into the hospital to help her, like with her in mind. He seeks this job out. obviously with some off intentions. You can tell that from the beginning. He seems like a weirdo. So this is kind of his story and then her diary. And this was a wild ride, a wild-ass ride. This was really good. I think I rated it a 4 or 4.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't know what to think, but it wasn't this, and can't recommend enough if you've never read it. And I was reading the last book I'm going to talk about this whole month. It took about a month to get through, and I'll explain why. But the next book I'm going to speak about is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas, and I've never read a pen book before, so I was super excited. I knew that they were like steamy, and I heard it was just like going to be very good. And I went into this book, and I was like a little like, what the fuck is this? It was not what I anticipated. And also I didn't know it was a bully romance going in, so I like definitely should have thought about that, but like I didn't. Or I should have read more about that. None of the reviews or anything that I read, I'm sure a ton of reviews say this, none said that it was a bully romance, and I don't know if I would have started with that if I knew that. Especially with Birthday Girl also as my other option. So anyway, yeah, I probably would not have started with it, but I did, and you know what? Loved it. I'm trying to put what I rated them down here or on my Instagram. I've rated all of them. I've already done a wrap-up, which you can follow. It's Barely Got Books, because this is not all the books I have, but like there's not a ton more than this. Just recently started reading again for fun, so I don't have as many books as like all these other YouTubers with like walls of books, which is great, but I don't have it. So anyway, Barely Got Books, Instagram. So loved Punk 57. It is about Misha and Ryan. Misha's the boy, Ryan's the girl, and Misha and Ryan have been pen pals since like 5th grade, and they were paired accidentally because they were, you know, each of their teachers thought that Misha would be a girl and Ryan would be a boy, so they were paired, and they've always spoken to each other, and then fate has it, and they meet accidentally. Well, Misha knows that they met. This happens like in the first chapter too. And then Ryan doesn't know that. So things happen in Misha's life, and they kind of force them together again. But Misha kind of knows what he's doing, but like that was kind of a side thing with the other plot line that's going on that you won't have any idea about until the very end. But anyway, so Misha kind of sees how Ryan acts and does not like it. He is not into it. He's like, this is not the girl I thought you were. And then, I don't know, you know, shit ensues. And it was really good, really steamy in like a good way. I was really happy with it. And when I read it, I thought like all of Penelope Douglas's books are going to be chef's kiss, right up my alley. I'm going to read all of them. And then I read another one, and I was like, oh. Anyway, so that's that. And then the last book I read, it was only 5 books this month, which is what I aim for, about 5, is The Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reed. And like I said, I read this throughout the month. This has very stream of consciousness writing, and it was hard for me to get through because I don't typically read stuff like this. I don't typically even really read young adult, as I have like middle grade Harry Potter over there. But anyway, so it was just so different from what I typically read. I heard that this was a really important novel to dig into, and it is. It is beautifully written. It's just harder for me to, I guess, comprehend what's going on. I don't know what's going on up there, but anyway. And also the dust cover is one of the most beautiful dust covers I've ever seen. It's obviously all matte, and then it has the, like, holograph. It's not holograph, but you know, it's shiny. It's nice. So this is about Ashley, and it is set in 1992 in LA during the Rodney King riots. And Ashley is a wealthy black teenager. She has white friends. She goes to a wealthy, predominantly white school in LA. It's really her dealing with the microaggressions from her friends, and then how she also ends up connecting to black people during the riots and how it brings them together. And there is just I didn't annotate this book, I wish I did, but I didn't. And there's a page in here that is just, if I can find it, it is incredible. And it's nothing crazy. Like, the concept isn't out there, but the way that Christina Hammonds Reed writes this, and I kind of feel like I'm tearing up saying this, which is interesting as it's Friday, November 6th. And Joe Biden's about to win the presidency, but anyway. It is something that is like so beautifully written and vile that people treat other people this way. And I just, putting this perspective out there, I think was just really important to see, like white people especially. So this was just so important. It was just a lot. It was very heavy on me and I loved it. I think it's a 4.5 out of stars is what I gave it. It could be more, could be 5. It depends like how you rank things. High rank books is kind of like, oh god. If I keep thinking about it, I'll typically bump it up to a 5 or bump it up to whatever half point or point it's not. And if I don't, then sometimes I'll bump down half a point. It really just depends, but like 5 is a book that I loved and can't stop thinking about, and like 4.5 is a book that I loved, but it's not something I ponder all the time. So anyway, my November TBR. My dog is wondering why I'm crying, but he doesn't realize that things are tough right now in America for, humans. I'm going to talk about 2 books that I'm currently reading, and kind of how I read things is a little differently. I will temporarily DNF a book and then go back to it later in the month, which is what I did with The Black Kids. I just couldn't get through it in that headspace in that moment. And so 2 books I'm currently reading. One, I have the temporary DNF, so maybe I'll get through it this month, maybe I won't, but I want to. And then I have 1 book that's out of the realm of what I want to read this month, and then I have other books that are in my theme for November. So the book that I am temporarily DNFing is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and I'm about, almost 50% of the way through. And this, by the way, is what a wonderful book without the dust cover. It's this beautiful green color, and it has the town of Mount Pleasant Public Library, South Carolina. Oh my god, I almost said Southern California. And it's just like, this is so nice. But maybe I just like, I only really buy hardcovers that are on clearance, or like in the book annex section of Barnes & Noble, or from Book of the Month Club. So it could be that. So this section, my TBR, I'm not going to explain as much about the books, whether I do know or I don't know about them, but I'm not going to go down that road because it's going to make this video very long. So this book is good. It's not a page turner for me, but it's very good, and I really liked it, and it was scary in some parts already. Like, genuinely heart-thumping scary. So I'm excited to finish this. I'm just not feeling it in this moment in time. So maybe later in the month. And the next book I'm currently reading is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by E.V. Schwab, and this I'm barely in because I just started it. Basically, I was reading, my husband likes to read my Kindle like a little too much, which is fine, but sometimes I just need a physical book, and I was reading a romance. I didn't really want to read a new one, so I picked this up because I've heard how good it is. Hopefully it will be as good as everyone says it is. So this is like the absolute, like, I want to read this month, and then the rest of the books are like my theme, and then there's one other book I'll actually talk about next that's like my lofty, like, if I get everything else done, that's the book I want to read. And that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Heard great things about this. I want to read it, but like I said, it's like the lofty goal. So we'll see if I get there. Probably not, because like I said, I read like 5 books a month typically, and I have finished 2, and it's the 6th. So I actually did read this, to be honest, but it was on my TBR, but I read this, like, flew through this. So this is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I've never read a Colleen Hoover until this. This you'll have to wait and see, because I had some feelings on this bad boy. I don't know. What a roller coaster. What a roller coaster. But anyway, I'll wait till my wrap up. So it ends with us. Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore, which had this for a little while. Haven't read it. I'm not super interested in it. Oh, duh, I didn't announce my theme. The reason that it's on my theme for November, even though it's not interesting to me, is that my theme is Naughty November. I want to read all romance. So, or, you know, almost, because, you know, the other books, but, so, not really interested, but it's out there, this, Bringing Down the Duke, historical romance. And then I have this book, which I've lusted after forever, The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. Again, it's supposed to be a good romance, so I'm looking forward to it. And the last one I have is this month's Book of the Month selection, which is This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins, which looks pretty good. So we'll see what I get through. I've already read 2, like I said, and 6, so that's faster than my typical reading speed. So if I can get 6 books total in this month, I will be so happy. Oh, thank you so much for watching our channel. I hope you have a wonderful day, and hopefully we get some good election news very soon about our president-elect. Bye!